All right, I'm ready to do this. You ready to do this?
I am ready. I am ready.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, no way. Oh my God. No way. Oh my God.
Welcome, everybody, to the Serial Chillers podcast Between the Seasons Murder Break number 2. This is between seasons 4 and 5. So today, Hella Greg could not be with us. He is running from government helicopters in his helicopter. So I have with me a special guest host. You guys know him. You guys love him. He's got that sweet, sultry sound we all love. Welcome back, Bobby Roberts.
Yo, what is up? How you guys doing? Yeah, dude.
Yeah, so Bobby calls me and he's like, hey, I want to be on Between the Scenes and Murder Break. And I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, come over. And then this week, Greg's like, dude, I'm not going to be able to make it. And I was like, don't even trip. Already have a co-host. So
let's go.
In line.
Let's go.
I will spare you guys all of the business because that's for Serial Chillers proper. So I'll just say follow us on social medias if you could find us, but it's really easy to. Serial Chillers Podcast. Where can they find you, Bobby?
You know, you can find me at @_B3R_ on all the platforms. Damn. Everything's connected. And guys, for some weird reason, I'm blowing up on TikTok. Got like 32K followers now. Oh, man. It's really weird.
You hear that, Lindsay?
Yeah. Hey, market strategies is the best strategies. You know what I'm saying? And you know what? Follow me on there too. Let's get it.
Follow Bobby on TikTok. I'm sorry, Bobby, I won't see you there.
It's okay.
Right.
It's becoming more of a adult platform too. So it's like coming more like all ages.
So you show your boobies. That's what
I
you're
don't.
saying.
Well, I mean, there are some shirtless. But it's not.
Oh, that's it, ladies. That is @_B3R_. All right. So today I brought us I brought an article. It's a great story. It's one that I love, and I actually recently got rekindled with the story, hearing it on Drunk History. But let's go to your story first.
My story's a little out of the wild.
I like that. So let's just specify by saying by the time you guys hear this, most of you will probably hear it on Saturday, but we're recording this Friday the 13th. It's 9:37 p.m. right now. So we're in a very Friday the 13th centric. My story has a little bit to do with Friday the 13th. Bobby's got some creepy shit. So
I do.
Hey, man. Tell me your story.
My story is
coming to theaters.
Yeah, no, my story actually, I wanted you, when you were on the phone and you talked about like a recent story, I was like, well, I recently was here at this location and I heard about the story after I already got into the location. So I'm going to give you a little bit of backstory of what happened so it could tie all together to the actual story of what I'm going to tell you. Is that cool?
Tarantino.
Yeah, okay, cool.
So Tarantino us.
Imagine this. Downtown Phoenix, Arizona. he looks at the time. He's like, how long is this going to take? Downtown Phoenix, Arizona. I'm there for an expo, blah, blah, blah. But I'm going over to this hotel because these girls, they're like, yo, come to the hotel like before we go out. And I'm like, all right, like, why not? So I walk my, happy ass to this hotel because they're really close where I'm staying, where they're staying. I get to this place called the San Carlos Hotel. It is a really, really epic hotel. A lot of its infrastructure is actually still dated from when they made it. So, which I'll tell you in the story right now.
It's got some history.
It does. It really does. It's wild. I go there and I get in there and I'm chilling and I'm waiting. I'm at this lobby and I instantly feel something. And you know me as a guy who's done exorcisms.
I was just going to say, Bobby's done an exorcism if you haven't listened to the old Halloween special.
Exactly. Please listen to the old Halloween special. It's amazing. But yeah, so I just felt something weird, And then this is when I heard these stories, and now I'm going to lead into the story. Okay, so, all right, guys. So this is the story of the San Carlos Hotel. It was opened in March 1928. So it's like a pretty old hotel, my guy. It has 128 rooms. It's 7 stories. It was developed by Charles Harris and Dwight B. Hurd. Guys, if I pronounce anything wrong too, just know that I'm on the same boat as Jesse.
Also, that's @_B3R_.
Yep, you're right. Shit, you're gonna message me now, huh? All right. It was the first air conditioned hotel in Phoenix, actually.
Hey,
Yeah, dude, it
that's
was-
fucking huge for Pahonix.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just giving you some backstory so you know this is actually a sick hotel, but at the same time, it's not so sick. The first rise hotel with elevators in Arizona, too. Hollywood celebrities would stay
Fancy
here,
shit.
like Marilyn Monroe. They actually have its own suite there. I saw the suite. It's crazy. And where Marilyn Monroe would stay, and they made that her room. And like Clark Gable, some of these guys from the past, you know what I'm saying? I mean, Monroe would go to the rooftop pool and like just sunbathe, like straight naked, son. just let you notice, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
crazy. And it actually was a member of the Historic Hotels of America and the National Trust of Historic Preservation. So
And it still stands?
it still stands.
Cool.
Yeah.
Man,
They
it's
just
almost
remodeled
100
some a little bit.
It's 90 years old this year.
Yeah, yeah, and it's like they remodeled a little bit of it, but like literally the copper still in the
Yeah,
elevator.
it's
is
like,
still
it
there.
looks historic.
It is crazy, yo.
That's cool.
So it was built in the 1928, and it was very popular at the time because it was at Hollywood's golden age. You know what I mean? So a lot of people would go through there and stuff like that, and a lot of people would visit and have a good time there and get crazy. But what wasn't so crazy, and this is the cool thing I thought was cool about the stories because it relates to a murder.
Moida.
Just the murderer was the person who got murdered. So it was like, yeah, it was a suicide. Not so good. Seek help if you have that. But yeah, so it was a tragedy of a young woman actually by the name of Leon. I might be saying this completely wrong, but Leon Jensen.
I'll take either.
Yeah, I mean, it was the legend of where this like hotel kind of began, and when they started finding other crazy stuff about this hotel out, because it's not just one thing that makes this hotel super super creepy and super super Friday the 13th scary. It's because there's many things that happen with this hotel.
Old hotel, like how could a hotel be old and not creepy is how I feel like. Like
I guess that's real, yo.
there's a lot of history in
Bro,
any hotel that's been standing.
I go to Old Town Clovis, or not Old Town Clovis, but what's the place that's downtown by Tower and all that stuff like that with these old buildings? I get creeped out looking at those things at night.
Some history, man.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like there's a ghost in there. So what happened, which is to make the long story kind of short on her subject, is that she fell in love with this bellboy. He was a strapping young guy. You know, he was the bee's knees out of 9. And I guess they were having a good time, and she would go over and see him, and because he worked at a hotel across the street or so, something like that. He worked over there, pretty close to it. And she would go over there, but one day he's like, "Nah, hey, Lily, it's not gonna work out. I'm done with you." And she was like, "What? You done with me? Then I guess I'm done with myself." So she like walked up, put this white gown on, walked up to the 7th floor, went out the balcony window and just went splat and just let her go, let her fly with the wind.
Shit.
She let Jesus take the wheel, but Jesus was like, "Girl, I can't save you." So like she dropped, she killed herself. And so her legend at this hotel is that she will go up to people's like couples
Dressed in all white.
all white, yep. She would go up to the couple's bed and she'll just stare. She's not aggressive. She doesn't make any screams or anything like that. She just stares and then walks away, and then you can see her later jumping up to the window, jumping off the window again.
It's almost as if she knew she was going to be a ghost. She's like, yo, I better get in white so I could be seen.
Yeah,
right
I think
here."
she's like, I'm gonna make sure these lovers,
That's
think
fucking
twice.
creepy. Can you imagine you're like macking with your girl and you're like, what?
Did you invite her?
Excuse me. Did you order room service? Or is this? And she just walks away. You're like, oh, no, all right.
She just walks away. Yeah,
All right.
she's not aggressive.
See you later. Hey, stay away from that window.
She's literally, I feel like she is staring to like see what she was missing out and remembering that
Right.
love,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
rekindle
for sure.
love, and then just like goes through that hurt again where she's
Kind
like,
of
I don't
nice.
have it. But she realized she doesn't have it anymore, so she just jumps off again. So there's another thing, and this is one of the things that I felt. When I was there, I didn't really when you turn the corner, they have this really weird like hallway stair, which is super small. It's like a closet that just got enlarged a little bit, and there's a staircase that goes down. Huh. It's super small. Like you have to like.
It's like sounds very Winchester Mystery House.
Yeah, it's like four steps.
You're like, why is this here?
Yeah, exactly. Like there's the door is literally just a door like you would open up a closet, and like it's just there. It's like it shouldn't be there. You know what I mean?
Bizarre.
It's really weird, but you can feel like it's like I don't know. Before I even heard the stories, I felt presences, and I was like, "Man, this is freaking tripping."
You're pretty sensitive to that stuff.
I am, bro. Yeah. All my life, I've been doing stuff like that. So, so it was just wild to believe. But this is what I picked up on when I went there, and it was this story right here. So the hotel. Damn it,
you're fine.
I ruined the punchline. No, so the hotel was actually built on top of a school. And on top of that, that school was a native, and please don't kill me if I'm completely, a little bit wrong, but this is what a couple articles said. It was built on a Indian burial ground too.
Oh shit!
So that school was built on that,
and then this was built on both.
On school, and I guess there was a well at this school, and some kids would fall down in the well and not be able to get back up.
So the site just has like a rich history of death.
Yes, a lot of death. I mean, just a bunch of death. I mean, like, so like you can hear kids playing with bouncy balls,
which like doesn't sound creepy on like a Tuesday afternoon, but when it's like 3 a.m. and you hear.
Dude, like a ball that's the creepiest thing.
Fuck
and
all that.
It was wild, yo. So yeah, and there's actually another little story where like a little girl stands in the hallways and just cries. Like every 7 stories has like its own little like inhabitant of like a ghost.
Yeah, and then that's like a hard one to like ignore. There's like a little girl crying in the hallways, so it's like extra fuck you, and you're like, hey, what? Who's crying?
Are you good?
Yeah, that put my.
I'll just go to the snack machine, grab a Snickers, and just like kind of like.
I'll just go down this weird little closet 4 stairs thing.
Dude, it's so creepy, bro.
Oh, I better go back up.
It's insane. That's, bro. Like, so, yeah, it's just wild. They said it. Sorry about that, guys. It was built over the village of. I'm gonna totally mess this up, but Hokokam Village. It's Hokokam. So it was built over that village with those Indian burial grounds, and it's just wild. But because of that, it became a national like landmark. Yeah. And that's why they don't take it down. Yeah. You know what I mean?
It's got an amazing hotel on it. It's rich with history. Wow.
Yeah. Okay. I'll just read the rest of this because I feel like to end it off.
Sure.
That so. This hotel came to fruition after the developers Charles Harris and Dwight D. Hurd purchased the land from the predominant Phoenix Baptist family, and more than 10 years after the schoolyard had been condemned to what it was.
Okay.
So it was a while after that schoolyard. It was like Italian Renaissance style design, after the renowned architect G. Whitecross Ritchie. It became known as the most modern hotel in the Southwest United States. It's upon its grand opening in March 1928. So that was epic for them.
Mega.
Yeah, I mean, think about that. Hollywood, like golden age.
Right.
People were just like, "This is dope." I told you that it became the first air conditioned hotel, and that was that cost like all that stuff, the air conditioning. Getting the elevators working, that rose up with every story would cost like $850,000 that time.
Yeah, which is
in 1928,
like probably $4 or $5 million now.
Dude, it's money.
Yeah,
but in the Hollywood, which is really kind of crazy to me that in Phoenix, Arizona, Hollywood's fame would reach so far out there, like to this point where like Marilyn Monroe would leave.
Well, it's like a nice. I mean, it's like it's not a crazy drive, but it's like enough to get away. Like,
yeah. I guess that's real. You're right. I mean, yeah, I guess I did. Yeah, I did drive there. I was thinking about that actually. I was like, hold on, guys. I was definitely in in a different mindset when I went down there. So, you had to get ready for the Fit Expo. You got to get yourself hyped. So all these stories come from that hotel, and that makes it a pretty like tourist like spot. Like I saw people going in there. They were like, you could tell they were there for the ghosts. You know what I mean? Like they were hyped. Like just like
that's what they were there for.
Oh yeah, I mean that's what most of their business comes from. I got to have a really good talk with the manager.
It was like a tourist. It's a tourist destination for that reason.
Yes, yeah, because they're totally open and public about everything that happens. They have like little like really cool newspaper articles and this and that in the hotel halls, like so you can read about the story, which is really effed up because it's like you're reading this story about this dead ass ghost, and you're
let me stay in that room.
Yeah, and your room is 3 doors down.
That's
in the same
history,
hall.
man.
Like
people go to the field at Gettysburg. Like. That's
so wild.
Death
bro.
is part of our history.
It is. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. I guess that's real.
Also, 1928, $850,000 for today would approximately be $12.1 million. It's an expensive hotel.
Damn. And they just put in a new chandelier. I took a picture of it. It's on my photography Instagram.
Dang.
It's crazy big, bro. It's insane. I mean, even like the managers and like security guards like even told me like their stories, like what they've experienced, and like it was just wild because I was waiting for some females out there to take a little bit of time getting ready, so
DM Bobby and he'll get you all those extra stories from that creepy ass hotel.
Let me know, guys. I will tell you. And it was epic, guys. But that is the story of San Carlos Hotel in Phoenix, Arizona.
I for sure am gonna swing by if I'm in Pahonix ever.
Well,
thank you, Bobby. I appreciate that, man. I got a little. It's like I said, it's an article because like I was gonna write something out myself, but this is just written so beautifully. So let's just thank Ella Morton right off the bat. This is the story of Sam Patch.
Oh, here we go.
America's first professional waterfall jumper. So this article is
Evel Knievel of his time.
from June 7th, 2016. Let me grab the website here really quick because I had it and now I don't.
He's like, hey, guess what? So I'm a pro. I'm a professional waterfall jumper. And
Pretty much.
I do big shit.
Yeah, you're like not very far off of exactly what happened. Okay, so this is from atlasobscura.com. It was June 7th, 2016. Again, the story is called The Story of Sam Patch, America's First Professional Waterfall Jumper. Here we go. There were a myriad of ways to become famous in 19th century America, most of them involving fighting in a war or rising to the top of political ranks. For Sam Patch, the nation's first professional daredevil, the path to celebrity was full of reckless plunges and booming splashes, occasionally accompanied by a bear. This is the story of a great waterfall jumper and his final leap in an unforgiving abyss. Born around 1807, Sam Patch grew up in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. That's where Peter's from. So that's kind of cool.
Man?
What's that?
Peter V?
Peter Griffin is from Pawtucket.
Oh.
So we have a fun connection there. So yeah, born in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. Back to the article. As a boy, he worked as a spinner in a cotton mill above Pawtucket Falls. This formidable torrent of water, said Rochester's Democrat and Chronicle in 1897, was what coaxed Sam to go into the leaping business.
Ooh.
Patch and his fellow young mill workers began jumping from a bridge into the Blackstone River to amuse themselves and impress each other. Patch had a particular aptitude for elegant leaps and sought ever higher platforms from which to hurl himself into the water.
Set higher goals.
Yep. The Democrat and Chronicle said he developed as a leaper in a wonderful way, few of the boys caring to duplicate his feats. Or they probably said, he developed as a leaper in a wonderful way, few of the boys caring to duplicate his feats.
That voice always reminded me of Bioshock.
Same. It feels the same.
Yeah.
This is actually way earlier. We were in like the 1820s.
Damn.
As an adult, Patch worked at a cotton mill in Paterson, New Jersey, where he stepped up his leaping efforts. Mm-hmm. In September of 1827, a new bridge was being installed on a ledge in the Passaic Falls at a height of some 80 feet above the water. Capitalizing on the public's interest into watching a pre-constructed bridge being plonked onto the ledge, Patch appeared before the crowd wearing just a shirt and underwear. He hurled himself from the ledge and hit the river feet first with an almighty splash and emerged a local celebrity.
Yo.
What do you think the tallest thing you've ever jumped off of is?
How tall is an average roof?
Like the highest peak of it or like the...
Just like the midway.
10, 15 feet?
Okay, so I'm going to say a little bit higher than that. So like,
yeah,
so maybe like, maybe about like 18 feet.
There's a platform that we used to jump off of when we weren't kids, but we were younger. I would say that it's probably 30 feet up in a tree.
Okay.
That's probably about the highest.
Because
even that is like...
Are we talking to grass or are we talking to, what's the terrain?
Oh, into water is what I mean.
Oh!
He's jumping into water.
Oh,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
then
yeah.
I jumped way higher than all. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how tall it would be because there's like... I remember going as a kid. There's like an amusement park, and they had a pretty high jump.
Okay.
Yeah, so like it was safe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Like the Clovis West 10-meter board. Picture that. You ever skated like the Clovis West bump and the top platform high dive? That's a 10-meter board. It's 30 feet. Next time you're there, it's pretty. The only reason you would jump out of that platform most of the time is because the climb into the tree was so sketchy that it was way easier to jump out than to climb back down the tree. Yeah.
Why does that happen sometimes where it's like you can get up there really clean, but
that's just how it worked. Because getting up there, you didn't even really do it very
Mother
cleanly.
Nature is a bitch sometimes.
So Bobby and I have not even touched 80 feet.
No, nowhere near. Nowhere near. That is insane.
So good
Wouldn't
job,
the impact in the water just like...
Well, river is good because if the water's moving, that means, it's a little easier to get into. That's why like on those shows where you fall into water, the water's like heavily oxygenated. Do you ever notice how many bubbles are in the water? It like super softens the blow. There's like pipes at the bottom that just blow air into it. So it makes the water super soft to land in.
What the hell? I just learned something new today.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
The more you know.
Blim, bloom, bloom.
Yeah, dude.
So capitalizing on the public's interest in watching the pre-constructed... Yep, we already did that. He emerged a local celebrity.
Yay.
After a few more jumps from the same spot, always in front of a crowd, greater heights and tougher challenges beckoned. Patch settled on the holy grail for a northeastern waterfall leaper, Niagara Falls.
Yo.
On October 7th, 1829, he leapt from a platform on Goat Island, which divides the two sets of falls on the American side from Horseshoe Falls on the Canadian side. So this is pretty damn big, man.
What the...
New York's Evening Post reported that, quote, he walked out clad in white and with great deliberation, put his hands close to his side and jumped from the platform into the midst of vast gulf of foaming waters, which to have none of humankind had ever before emerged in life. 10 days later, because he lived, Patch flung himself into the Niagara abyss once more, this time from a higher platform built on top of two ladders on a cliff below Goat Island. After witnessing this 125-foot plunge along with thousands of other onlookers, a reporter from the Buffalo Republican claimed that the jump of Patch is the greatest feat of the kind ever effected by man. He may now challenge the universe for a competitor. That's hard. That's hard.
That's good.
So, no other living entities, human or otherwise, stepped up to the challenge Patch. He therefore sought only to better his own accomplishments and tore his talents around a large area. Following the triumph at Niagara Falls, Patch turned his attention to the Genesee River, which flowed through the rapidly industrializing city of Rochester, New York. The river's high falls, which plunged from a height of 97 feet, seemed to be the perfect spot for the Great Leap. On October 29th, 1829, ads touting Patch's upcoming feat appeared in the Rochester Daily Advertiser and Telegraph. They promised, quote, no mistake could occur during the jump. Requested the spectators bring a donation to help ease Patch's travel costs, and noted that Patch's newly acquired pet bear would also be making the leap.
What the? He got a damn bear to jump off with him?
In the drunk history when they're talking about it, because that's how I got reminded of this. I was like, oh my God, I forgot about this. He's like, because that's what you did in the 1820s. When you got famous, you got a bear. I was like, well, shit, I guess. I mean, I wasn't there, so I can't.
I guess that's real, man.
Yep.
Man.
So Patch didn't disappoint. According to the Rochester Public Library's account, he first took the bear by the collar and pushed it over the falls.
Oh, that bear didn't even want to jump, dog.
Maybe there. Once the animal was confirmed to have survived the fall, Patch leapt after it. The whole thing went off without a hitch. Well, there was one hitch. Patch was disappointed by the final donation tally.
Oh.
He didn't get tipped enough for his jump. He decided to stage one more jump from the same spot in order to scrounge up some more cash. To entice repeat viewers, he arranged the construction of a platform that would rise 25 feet above the rock ledge, bringing the total jump height to 125 feet. Once again, ads appeared in the papers. This time, they touted Patch's, quote, last jump. Patch intended for the phrase to mean that his final jump of the season, but the ads proved to be a lot more prophetic.
Dun.
At 2 p.m., Friday the 13th,
Snap.
Patch scaled the platform and stood above the thousands of spectators. I think different reports say it could be as low as 2, but as high as 8,000 people to watch this. He had become his custom, he delivered a short, somewhat rambling speech in which he compared himself favorably to great historical figures. Quote, Napoleon was a great man and a great general, he said. He conquered armies and conquered nations, but he couldn't jump the Genesee Falls. Witnesses later argued over whether he was drunk or had just knocked back a quick shot of brandy to take the edge off of the chilly November air. So he took a shot right before he jumped. So some people were like, yeah, he just like took one single shot. But some people were like, I think he was pretty faded when he made the jump. So there's no real story.
But
so
you gotta intake alcohol to get through the dimension when you're leaping at that speed.
That's crazy. You just need Rick's portal gun.
Yeah, dude, that's what happened.
Yep. So regardless, when Patch leapt, something wasn't right. After descending the first third of the way, as handsomely as he ever did, said the Evening Post, Patch evidently began to droop. His arms were extended and his legs separated, and in his condition, he struck the water and sunk forever. So instead of landing, he like backflopped. He used to like pencil, and he like backflopped open from 125 feet.
And that just snapped neck, broken back,
who
probably.
knows?
Oh man! Wait, no one went after me. Just let him sink like it was like some
this is like
anime?
a gnarly fucking crazy river off of 125 foot waterfall.
So they couldn't even.
And think of it, it's 1820. There's like a bunch of people in wool suits lining the river, and I bet you 60% of them can't even swim. Swimming isn't like a recreational activity at the time.
Yeah, that's real. They're like, oof.
Yeah.
Can anybody?
Do you have a home? I don't. So
any floaties around, guys?
The stunned crowd waited to see if the Genesee River would produce Patch or at least his body. There was no sign of him. It would be 4 months before his remains were discovered 7 miles downstream by, apparently it was a farmer who was out with his horses, and he broke through the frozen river with like the ice of the frozen river to get his horses some water. And he was able to see the body of Patch like frozen in the water. Because they're cold water to begin with, and he did the jump in the mid-November.
Damn.
Yeah, so he was found in
Taking
early
your
March.
Horses to the Old Town Road, and this is what you find: dead body.
The public's reaction to Patch's final jump was mixed. While some lauded his dream big and take risks approach, the anti-Masonic Inquirer chose to scold all involved, calling the incident, quote, a daring and useless exposure of human life. That left the crowd, quote, abashed and rebuked after seeing the frail and mortal standing as it proved on the brink of eternity.
Damn.
Yeah.
Man, those words, man, those terminologies just get you with the hits. You know what I'm saying?
1829, man. Once the initial shock and sadness had faded, a mythos began to build up around Patch. Over the next 2 decades, he kept popping up as a character. Few persons in the United States of the 1830s and 40s could have avoided all the poems, ballads, rhymes, anecdotes, allusions, reminiscences, tall tales, and theatrical farces that celebrated the braggadocio jumper of history, fantasy, and hoax, wrote Richard Dorson in Sam Patch, Jumping Hero. There's a book. Writers and other creatives of the 1830s who were, quote, swelling with Jacksonian nationalism in response to the revolutionary president turned Patch into a folk legend imbued with whatever profound and lamentable characteristics they saw fit. President Andrew Jackson himself even named his favorite horse Sam Patch in 1833.
Dang.
Beyond these tributes was a more informal legacy. Until well into the late 19th century, anyone who jumped from a great height into a body of water was referred to as the new Sam Patch. The New York Times cited several such Sam Patches over the decades, none of whom quite measured up to the real deal. This piece of reportage from 1853 entitled Sam Patch Come Again sums it all up. A couple of gentlemen were walking quietly across the wire bridge yesterday evening, and when about in the middle, one of them stripped himself of all of his clothes except his pantaloons and jumped off into the river, a distance of about 150 feet. He swam to the shore and came up uninjured, except that he was very fatigued. The gentleman declined to give his name, but we understand that he is employed at the manufacturing works. This is certainly a capital way to cool off this warm weather, but most persons would prefer a shorter jump. So that was like his first anonymous piece ever written about him. And,
Dude.
yeah. Whether Sam Patch was a
Legends
drunken
never
fool, an acrobatic hero, or some combination thereof, his leaping feats his leaping feats ushered in the daredevil philosophy. Seek ever loftier heights, aim to astound, and get paid as much as possible for every reckless stunt.
Bro, I kind of vibe with that.
Yeah, so thanks again, Ella Morton.
Dude.
That was a really...
He was like that...
I loved that story about... I mean, it was the best write-up of Sam Patch, like, possible, I feel like. That I could find in one day.
He was like... People say, Kobe.
Yeah.
They say, Patch. Hey, you a new Sam Patch looking head ass. That's what they would say.
Start saying Sam Patch when you do dives into the pool. Now.
I'm down, bro.
When you like do a rock jump, Sam Patch.
Sam Patch, guys. We're like, what?
Let's get hashtag Sam Patch going next summer when we're all jumping into the pool, guys.
Let's do it.
Let's remember it then. Okay, man, that is my story.
That was dope, bro. About a jumper too.
There you go. Any final words, Bobby?
Yes, I do have some final words. I just want to say mucho love, te amo mi amor, to the amazing family that showed up at the San Jose Expo. Thank you so much. You made my year. I never had anybody ask to take a photo with me. It's epic.
We're out here making careers.
It's super sick. It's awesome. I did not expect you to say serial chillers, but when you did, I fell more in love with the whole podcast and everything and just everybody that's a part of it. So thank you so much to that family. You're epic. And thank you, I guess, to everybody else who's listening because this podcast is dope and it deserves the world.
Well, we love you too, Bobby.
Yeah.
The people love you.
Gains.
Thank you, everybody, for checking out Between the Seasons Murder Break. Remember, we're back October 4th. Hella Greg will be back on with me next week for Between the Seasons Murder Break number 3. Check out some more about Sam Patch if you can.
Sam Patch?
What was the hotel called again?
San Carlos Hotel,
Check
Phoenix,
out
Arizona.
Any Phoenicians out there want to get us some insider information about the San Carlos Hotel, we would be greatly appreciative of that. You guys know all the business end of the show. So really, we just want to thank you a bunch and say,
don't talk to strangers.
You've just listened to another podcast by Super Network.